Yeah, and they made the run in the fourth quarter. Thomas hit a big three, and maybe Shepard hit the other one. I'm not exactly sure. But, it's as a coach, you're thinking about timeout, no timeout, and, just decided to let them keep going. And we got it back up to 10 and actually got a little over 10, I think, when our starters came back in. So, it worked out. But, look, this is a horrifically difficult game. They got a bunch of hard-playing physical guys that, are really into the opportunity that they have. And they have guys that beat us last year in here. Santos is one of them. Quinones is with a different team now, but they had some kind of no-name-ish type guys come in here last year and really hurt us. So, it's just a difficult game. Did not feel like we won every quarter, but we did. And so the important thing is to get the win, and we've got to keep going. I mean, we've got a good month going so far, and it's certainly not going to get any easier now.
Seemed like one guy who kept coming up with answers sort of every time somebody made a run if he was on the floor was Pascal. And obviously that's been the case for him sort of all year, being somebody that you've been able to rely on regardless of what was going on. I mean, just how big was he tonight? He's 12 of 16, extremely efficient, and just, again, to continue with what you've gotten.
Yeah, Pascal was tremendous. Mm-hmm. He was tremendous. And, the efficiency numbers, 12 out of 16, the big three he hit. We had a lot of opportunities for threes throughout the game, and we just could never seem to hit the one that would really get the crowd going. And so that was the one that he hit in the fourth that really I think got us to 13 or something like that. So, no, he's a great player. Tyrese a great player. It's but, playing with leads continues to be a challenge for us. And this is not exclusive to the Pacers. I think every team in the league probably has challenges with it, unless it's a real hardened veteran team. But it's just another area where we have upside, and we've just got to keep working on it.
We're gonna go. Mathurin, obviously 21 and 10. We talked a lot about him this week, but he obviously hit some big threes there, gets the tip dunk. Just how important were some of those things? It seemed like there was a lot of stuff that, again, you've been harping and asking for there. It seemed like he stepped up again with a couple big shots and some good efficiency.
Yeah. Again, Ben didn't have a great game going into the fourth quarter, but in the fourth quarter he made key shots, key rebounds, both ends of the floor. The 2 threes were huge on our run. The tip dunk was a big momentum play and got the crowd going. So, real proud of him. Early in the game, again, our whole tone wasn't where it needed to be, just in terms of the edge and the disposition, but we were able to adjust. And so, we're not going to have the luxury of that on Sunday.
Yeah, just win the game. That's the objective at the end of it. It doesn't matter how it comes. We just want to win. So they're NBA players too. Obviously they're missing some guys, but those are good players over there who are playing to prove some things and get more minutes. And it's just part of the game. It's part of the NBA. They ebbs and flows, but just figure out a way to win. That's what we did tonight.
What do you think you just did well in those cases? When they got it to 4, they got it to 5. If they gave you any reason to panic, you guys generally got either a 3 or a dunk or something like that right after that. We got the response.
In the fourth, Thomas got some big stops there, led to some kick aheads for Pascal. That was playing transition. We just had to get stops and get more in transition. We were able to do that.
One guy obviously seemed to, a bunch of you guys did, but who seemed to come up with a lot of those answers was Pascal, and it seemed like obviously he's been a steadying force for you guys all year. Just how important has he been through the ups and downs you guys have had so far as somebody you've been able to sort of rely on this, be able to kind of carry you through some of the tougher times?
Yeah, he's been obviously, like you said, the steady guy on our team. Very consistent. We can count on him to play the right way, to get we trust him in any one-on-one matchup, really. So when things get slowed down there, you can give him the ball in the post and just let him go to work. That's what he does.
I guess that piece to it, just the fact that he's always able to come up with a shot. What impresses you about how, again, you can throw the ball in a one-on-one matchup and he could just find a way? Just what stands out to you about how he's able to just get a bucket in those circumstances?
Yeah, no, it's just the way he plays. He can get a shot on anybody. I think he does a great job of finding the balance between taking maybe those tough twos sometimes and moving the ball. I think he does a great job because he knows he can get a shot off against anybody, and he feels comfortable with that look, and we feel comfortable with that look. So, yeah, like you said, just has been steady for us all year. And, on nights like tonight, just keep giving him the rock and trusting him.
You mentioned Thomas. I mean, how important are those two? I think he had a steal that set up a Pascal dunk, and then he had the wild block to get that one. I mean, how important were those two moments, I guess, to get a couple defensive big plays basically right there to get you guys going at that point?
Yeah, like I said, he's just been the steady hand for us. We were very consistent all year, ever since he's gotten here. And I think, what we're missing, with our two bigs down has been that energy big. That's what Isaiah would do in last year, is make those energy plays to really get the bench involved, the crowd involved, those highlight plays. And I thought Thomas did a great job of that. His energy, like we talked about last game, has just been contagious and amazing. So really good pickup for us, and he's been really helping us.
What was the second buddy matchup like? How was it different this time?
He shot more. Yeah, he played more and shot more. Result was the same, though, so I get to say that. But anytime I get to see him is obviously fun. It's unfortunate I only get to play 2 times a year. But always good to see my brother.
Considering who was out, would you have expected more than 19 shots? I mean, would you have taken the over on 20?
No betting. Yeah, that was crazy. That was set me up right there. I would never do such a thing. Yes, none of those.
Oh, none of those.
Yeah, no. But no, I mean, he's Buddy Hield. He's going to get him up. So especially with guys out, his energy can be contagious to a group. The way he plays, so definitely was a point of emphasis for us.
Obviously, it was a really good fourth quarter for Ben Mathurin tonight as you guys close this one out. But how have you seen him grow? I know there's been a lot of talk about his growth this season, but what have you seen from him specifically, and especially your guys' on-court chemistry, as that's kind of been a question mark in the previous seasons? How do you think you guys have grown together?
Yeah, just, find him in the right spots. He can score with the best of them, so we know he can do that. He's doing a great job defending. He had 10 rebounds tonight, which is huge. So he's doing a great job of just doing what's needed right now and filling that role very nicely. So, just keep seeing him grow there has been amazing.
I'm curious, I didn't see it necessarily a ton tonight, but, how has your comfortability, as a screener grown? And if you've, taken any advice from Buddy or even Steph?
Yeah, I haven't taken any advice from Buddy when it comes to screening. He's a terrible screen setter. Steph, just watching Steph all summer, understanding that, when he knows that when he sets screens, it gets guys open, just his gravity alone. And it also gets him open at the same time. So watching him do that all summer, having constant conversation with him, was a great learning experience for me. And just trying to keep growing in that aspect. Sometimes if teams are going to stay attached, that screen can become almost a double screen to a sense. So and let me take back what I said about Buddy. He's a terrible screener, but he's a great ghost screener. Probably the best ghost screener in our game. But again, that just comes from his gravity and the way he moves. But I would never, ever take advice from him on how to set a screen. He is the worst. He is the best three-point shooter in the history of the game that can't set a screen. Usually three-point shooters are great screeners. Buddy Hield is not. Great ghost screener, though.
You've played pretty efficiently on offense the past 5 games or so. What have you liked about your game during this stretch and the team's, offense over the past 5?
Just getting to the paint, being aggressive. Been taking care of the ball lately. Besides tonight, a little rough. 5 turnovers each. But I've been getting downhill, being aggressive. 7 free throws. I'm excited about that. But numbers don't lie. Y'all can look it up. The more I'm in the paint, the more we win games. So it's really been about me being aggressive to get 2 feet in the paint and be aggressive to get downhill. Opens up everything for me, opens up everything for everybody else. So just trying to play the right way. I feel like I'm doing a good job of that.
Tyrese, what do you see trending with this team in 2025 so far?
I think we're defending at a high rate, which has really been helping us. As much flack we caught last year for being poor defensively. You don't get to where we got to last year without defending, So, we know that when we can be, obviously the last year and parts of this year we've been, a bottom 5, bottom 10 defense. When we can be in that kind of that 10 to 15 range, we're really tough to beat when we can defend at a high level. And that opens up things for us in transition. So I think that's been our biggest area of growth. Getting Andrew Nemhard helps a lot. He's an all-league defender. You can put that in writing. He's an all-league defender. I think a lot of the NBA would agree with that. And we can't wait to get Aaron Neesmith back soon because those are our 2 best on-ball defenders. So those guys really help. And then Miles protecting the paint. We've got a lot of different guys buying in and doing a good job on that end, and that's opening up everything for what we do offensively.
Yeah, I think, we got to get better with leads, That's kind of like, it's not a bad problem to have, There's some people that want to get back into games, We have a problem of, having a little lead and playing a little loose. We just gotta get better. I thought today, it was some tough stretches, but we came right back, like you said, and we fought through it. Like teams like this is hard. Like you come in to play, and it's like, oh, this person's not playing, this person's not playing. Like you prepare, like for these guys to play, and sometimes it's like it's just human nature to just be like, okay, like all the best players are not in the game. It just happens naturally. It's not even like we prepare for it. Like we talked about it. Like I've heard it like all day today, but it just happens. Like that's how basketball is, and I think that. As long as we just, keep working the game and doing the things that we know we need to do, we'll be all right. And I thought we did that.
You've obviously been through that enough times. You've had enough games like this in your career where guys were sitting out and you had to go through that. What do you have to keep in mind? I guess.
Nah, you just gotta keep focusing on us. Like, we know that journey right now. Like we know how up and down we've been. Like, to be the team that we need to be, like we gotta be consistent. Like no matter who we play. Today's the Warriors. Tomorrow we're going to play an amazing team, but it doesn't matter. The focus is the same. We gotta, we gotta have the same focus, no matter who's out there playing. And like I said, I don't know what day we're playing, but it's going to be different. Right. We're playing a high team, a team that's number 1 in the league. Like it's going to be a challenge, and we gotta have the same mentality to just, if we get a lead. Keep it. If we have to fight to get back into the game, we have to do the same thing. Like our focus got to be the same.
You obviously were able to get some of those shots when you needed to have them, and obviously generally this team's been able to rely on you in a lot of tough situations, throughout this year, especially when it was tougher earlier in the season. How important has that been to you to be that kind of player, to be somebody that this team can rely on when things aren't going the way that you want to?
Yeah, no, like I think I put a lot of work in, into my craft, and I think every single night I'm ready, I'm ready, however the ball is going to go. There's going to be times where, you might get more opportunity than others. It's just all about preparation. And for me, I prepare every single day for these moments. Like every single night I'm out there, I want to be a threat on all 3 levels, and I want to do it consistently every single night. And that's my focus as soon as I wake up every day for a game. Like I want to be consistent. I want to do everything that I can on defense. On offense, rebounding, like that's something that, every single day I think about rebounding, like I want to be a better rebounder, and I think I'm putting the effort, and I want to be a better defender. I think I'm doing the same thing. So I'm just being a complete player every single night. Like just for me, I've been around, I've known what it takes to win, and sometimes you're gonna make shots, sometimes you're gonna miss them. I think I'm just trying to have my consistent, just kind of like level of focus and attention to details and just energy every single night.
Obviously, from a consistency basis, I think you've only had one game the entire time you've been here that you haven't gotten at least in double figures. What are you most proud of in terms of what you've been able to achieve in terms of consistency?
It's amazing. I think obviously, you're trying to be humble about it, but this is hard. Like this is not everybody that does, the things that I'm able to do out there, and I recognize that, and to me, it's just, again, it's not about numbers. It's just about the consistency and doing everything to take care of my body, doing everything to just be out there every single night at my best, or at least try to be at my best. And I think it's just, I have a lot of people behind the scene working, with me to prepare me every single day for every single game. basketball-wise, on my body, like everything, you know. So I just try to give myself the best chance that I can, and again, I just go out there and trust everything and just let it all out there.
You know, we talked a lot last year about you feeling those guys were still figuring out what you could do, like how much was possible. How far do you think that's come this year?
No, I think we're learning every single day. Like, and you know, like for me, you know, I trust Ty to make the right decisions, and I think being in our second unit, you know, like just understanding, you know, working with TJ's strength and all the guys' strength to also just understand like what I can do and who I am. I think we're still figuring out how to, you know, use me in that situation. Just because for me, I feel like, you know, like the gravity that I have is just not about scoring. It's just about making plays, bringing, you know, other guys and just giving other guys open shots also. Like, and I think we figured it out. Like, I think sometimes we have different people out there in the lineups, and I think it's just a matter of just figuring it out. We played some good stretches, but I think, you know, the more we out there, we continue to play downhill and use each other's strength. Like, I think we're going to be hard to guard, like, you know, from top to bottom.
Since you brought up the second unit part, I mean, obviously for a lot of this last stretch, you've been kind of the first person to check out, and then you check back in, you know, with that second unit. So you're kind of really operating with two different groups.
Yeah.
What's that been like? I mean, is that something you volunteered for? Is that something that was just thrust upon you? I mean, like,
yeah,
what do you like
it's
about
tough.
that challenge?
Like, it's tough because I'm like a serial hooper, you know. Like, I want to be on the court. Like, I mean, I come from a team where I play 40 minutes every single night, you know. Like I'm ready. I'm ready to play with any lineup, anytime. So I always want to be on the court. So there's a little, you know, obviously, coach, you know, we want to, you know, keep fresh legs out there. We want to, you know, play certain way, and then like I trust that, and I believe in that. But for me, I always want to be ready to be out there, play first unit, second unit. I just gotta, you know, understand my role in both. You know, if you need more rebounding in our first unit, I'm gonna do that. More defense, do that. And then second unit, if you need more scoring, I'll do that. You know, so I think just trying to figure out how I can help in every single lineup. And to me, I just feel like, you know, like I can play with anybody. So yeah.
Yeah, you guys have won 5 in a row, and you've won 11 of your last 14. What is clicking with this team right now that wasn't earlier in the season?
I think we have more stretches of just good basketball. Like, I think, you know, try to limit the up and downs. Like, you know, we had a lot of, like, you know, peaks and valleys. Like, you know, it was just, like, really just high and then lows. And I think we try to just stay, you know, just steady a little bit more. And I think, you know, that consistency and the fact that we're able to do that, it shows, you know, in the winning column. But, you know, it's like I said, sometimes you're going to play great basketball, you're going to lose. And sometimes, you know, I think it's just our focus and our energy is, like, a lot better. And there's a lot less just, like, up and down. You know, it's more steady, and that's how we got to be.
Ty's played pretty efficiently over the past few weeks here. What are some good things you've seen from him that have really helped the team?
Yeah, I think he's aggressive. He's just aggressive downhill. Like, I think obviously we know how amazing of a shooter he is, but I just think I like the fact that he's been, you know, so adamant about getting to the paint, getting floaters. Like, he has amazing touch. Like, and, you know, I always try to tell him that, like, you know, floaters, layups, like, that's what's gonna open up your game even more. And then, you know, once you know, do the little side step threes, like, that's, you know, you just go to another level. But I think, like, I just like his focus, even on defense, like, being more engaged. And then also on offense, just being more downhill, like playing with a different pace and attack mentality.